Hey guys, in this video I'm going to go over preset modes and how it pertains to different pools, different methods for storing different preset modes, if it goes against what the preset mode is for that pool, how to change your store settings for different preset modes. And if you're confused on what any of this is, just follow along with me for a second. I'm going to go through all this. If you're already familiar with the method, feel free to jump onto something else. All right, so let's take these Vipers right here, and let's make a cyan color preset. So I'm going to just bring this red to 0, and there we go. Now they're on cyan. If I go to store this in this color pool, we'll see, okay, we just stored it, and it is already universal. As of right now, this color pool is already set. The preset mode is already universal. I can show you this by, if I click on the MA, preset mode right here is universal. If I right click, you'll see your list of options that you have: selective, global, universal. So the reason that preset just stored as universal is because universal was selected as that pool's preset mode. So let's go ahead and change this to global, okay? Now we can see that this preset didn't change to global. What this means is any new presets that we store in here are now going to follow the preset mode set for the pool, the same way universal did just a minute ago when universal was the selected preset mode for the pool. So a lot of words there, but let's make a blue, okay, and let's store this. There we go. Now we've got a blue color preset that's already global, okay? Now selective is especially for when you've got different colors on different fixtures, right? Universal and global presets are specific to when either all fixtures that are selected or all of the fixtures in that fixture type are all doing the same thing. They all have the exact same values. So let's say for instance, if I took this second Viper right here, let's say I wanted to make that magenta. For whatever reason, let's just say I wanted that one to be magenta and I wanted the rest of these to still be blue. Let me just reinitiate it so it comes back in the programmer. Okay. The rest of those are now blue and we've got one that's magenta, okay? So let's store this, and we've just run into something. We've right now got global information because global is the preset mode for the pool. However, it's not all global because there's one fixture doing something different than the other fixtures, which automatically makes it selective. Now, the nice thing is, even if that wasn't on purpose, or if it is on purpose, let's say we get out of that preset, we clear out, let's say we select our group, select that preset again, it will go back. The global information won't override selective. Selective is the highest priority of the preset modes, right? Because that is specific information to just the fixtures selected that were made different than the others, right? Next in priority is global, then last is universal. Okay, so the same way we had this global and selective preset, we could also have a universal and selective. So just to show you, I've now changed preset mode for the pool to universal. Let's make these, what is that, yellow, okay? And let's say we take this guy right here and we make him red, okay? So I reselect all of them and I store this. Now we've got a universal preset with selective information in it as well. So again, we can reselect the group, go back to it. It will go back to, correctly and adequately, sharing that universal information across any of your fixtures in the selection. But the selective information will be specific to that fixture that was used or that was programmed to look that way when we stored it. So, let me also show you some other methods, or one other method of when you're using your store settings. All right, so we've just changed the preset modes in the pool, but now let's use different preset modes when storing instead. So let's say, we'll take our Vipers, and let's say we make green, okay? I'm just trying to vary up the colors a little bit. I'm using shortcuts because I'm on PC. So with shortcuts enabled, which you'll see right down here, if I click and hold the S button, the S key, we'll see that this store settings pop-up, comes up. On the far right, we see this preset mode, right? So we know, so if it follows auto as it normally does, as it did earlier, then it'll just automatically follow whatever the preset mode is for the pool that you're about to store in, okay? But let's say, this is universal right now. Let's say we want this to just be global, all right? Now you can just change the preset mode in the pool settings, or we can right click and click global. We can also just click through this to get to global. And if we store this, now store is already in the command line, so we can just click where we want it to go, and there we go. It's now stored as global in a universal pool, just as we wanted it to, okay? So the same thing is gonna follow like what happened earlier where we had global and selective information. No matter what method we use, whether we change the preset mode in the pool or we change the preset mode in the store settings, if there is any fixture that is doing something different, that was selected and told to do something different than other fixtures, it will automatically become selective. One other thing I want you to just be aware of is when you make your layouts, and let's say we select another color pool. Because universal was selected last, this new one's going to show up as universal. But sometimes, especially I think, if I'm not mistaken, when you make a new show file where you haven't changed any of those settings before, these will first come up as, I believe it's either selective or global, okay? Just be cautious of when you're working in a new show file. Just look at your pool settings first before you start programming stuff. You start making new presets, especially like if you're about to make this, long drawn out show file for whoever and for whatever purpose. If you start storing a bunch of things as selective, but you want them to be able to universally work with other fixtures or globally work with the same fixture type, just not used in the selection that was used to make the presets, then you're limiting yourself, okay? You have to either redo a ton of stuff. There's just a lot of backwards work you're going to end up having to do. So just be cautious of what the pool setting, the preset mode pool setting is when you start making your new presets. So anyway, just thought I'd dive in a little bit more to the preset modes. I know some people, like I said, I'd seen some comments between this channel and some other places of, just confusion of why are different presets showing up as universal and selective instead of just universal or just global. And this, is kind of an explanation of why that happens and how to manipulate some of it. So anyway, I hope that helps somebody.